They say I wouldn't do it like I won't. They say I couldn't do it and they feel. They say I wouldn't do it and I fold. They say I couldn't do it and I did. I'm a champion. I'm a champion.
What's going on, Encourage Nation? You know who this is, Dr. D. Come on, the pastor, the husband. Come on, the cousin, the friend, the confidant, the counselor. Listen, I'm that guy that's always trying to drop gems. And so today I'm dropping some gems for the men. Listen, if you're talking about relationship, I want to tell you, you got to definitely be a Joshua 1:9. You got to be strong and courageous in order to get into a relationship. But however, you need to be strong in order to stay in a relationship, because many times we will always do some things that the other one does not like. But you have to understand that love is what binds us. Love is what will keep us together. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that love is foolishness. I'm not saying that. I am saying that when you love someone, you are willing to die to self, right? That does not mean that you lose character or who you are. He said the two becomes one. That means that when we're talking about marriage now, that's different. If we're dating, that's a different thing, right? That means that we're learning to see what it is we like and what it is we don't like about one another. See, it's cute when we say, oh, they didn't say that. Oh, they didn't do that, right? You know, when you're in love or when you got puppy eyes, is what they used to always say. Then anything they do, which is cute, they didn't open the door for me. Oh, they hung up quick. Oh, they da. See, that was something that we thought was cute. But then when you get married, those things don't become cute anymore. You have to understand what it is that you're doing. So I'm coming to drop a little gem to some of us men. I am 28 years married, right? A second marriage, as well as 30 years together. Has it always been easy? Absolutely no. And I have 3 children and a grandchild. So listen, let me tell you. It comes with a lot of weights. It comes with different, and I'm a black man, right? Which means what? You got to work as hard. I don't care what nobody say. You got to work as hard. You got to work harder, I say. It said work as hard, but you got to work harder. Why? Because many things are stacked against us, but I still believe God is for us. So that means I can do anything. All things are possible. But here, let me give you 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8, which is familiar. But I wanted to use the Amplified as opposed to the King James. The King James talks about the charity, which means love. And sometimes people think that's about giving, and it's not. It's actually love. It's a substitution of the word. And so it says, love endures, and starting at verse 4, love endures with patience and sincerity. Love is kind and thoughtfulness, and is not jealous or envious. Love does not brag and is not proud or arrogant. 5 says what? It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not provoked, nor overly sensitive and easily angered. It does not take into account wrong endured. It does not rejoice at injustice, but rejoices with truth when right and truth prevail. 7 says this, love bears all things regardless of what comes, believes all things, looking for the best in each other, hopes all things, remaining steadfast during difficult times, endures all things without weakening. 8 says this, love never fails. It never fades nor ends, but as prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for gift of special knowledge, it will pass away. Love is not in competition. Let me say it again. Love is not in competition. You have to remember, when we are loving others, we are playing with emotions. And when you say playing, no. Yes, if we decide that we love you, and if we say that we love you, then we need to act as such. If we are not doing that, then we are playing with someone's emotions. And I'm not saying when you start first dating, right? Love shouldn't necessarily be there, but sometimes people say, I found love. It was there. I knew from day one. God bless you. I had to find love. which means what? It comes through a lot of ups and downs to determine, can I still love you when I don't like what you said? Can I still love you when you didn't cook my meal? Can I still love you when you didn't call me on time? Can I still love you when you said something ugly to me? Can you still love me when I didn't dress like you wanted me to dress, or I didn't say the words that you wanted me to say, or I didn't do what you wanted me to do, or I forgot to do those things? Can you still love me? This is what we're saying. Can you forgive me when I made a mistake? Can you forgive me when I just didn't do my best? Can you forgive me? This is what love is all about. And when I start to say this to you young brothers, listen, we also cannot be judgmental also. And some things that cause us to be judgmental can be how someone else treated us or what we did not see in our families. You have to determine what you want to be and how you want to live your life. And also, when it comes down to love, you have to determine if you want to be lovable or not. Many of us are not acting in ways to be lovable. So we don't know how love feels. We don't want to receive love. And many times you are dealing with women who had father issues. Most of the time. There are a lot of issues that we as men have bestowed on women in our generations that we're still trying to clean up. And many times women carry that a lot. And so many times you can do some things that maybe you won't get thankful. But this is the reason why you need to find Jesus Christ. Because you got to love no matter what. You got to serve no matter what. You got to forgive no matter what. You got to have long suffering. Fruit of the Spirit is important. Fruit of the Spirit is important. As we're moving through, we have to understand these things. That when you're talking about love, we're talking about the eros is, that Valentine love, you know what I'm saying? But the agape is that love that anything. That's that love that God has for us. That's that love that I'm trying to tell you. It's not predicated upon what I do. But when you're courting, let's go here. Let's start here. Think about the things that you used to do to get the attention. Think about the things you used to do to let them know that you cared about them. Think about the things that you did. You went out of your way to make sure that everybody knew that that was your girl. Come on. If anyone tried to step to him, if anyone tried to talk to him, you wanted to make sure, and you made sure that your boys knew that that was your girl. Come on. We've been in church. There were times when women that are walking around, you like, oh, they so-and-so. And they said, well, I'm already talking to them. So listen, that's what we have to make sure. What is it that keeps you from loving the person that you're with? You got to get rid of that hurt, man. Let it go. And this is something I want to say to you. We have to learn to not celebrate love just one time a year. Love should be something we're doing always. We should always be trying to love the one that we're with. Let me say it again. We should always be trying to love the one that we're with. And what does it say? You have to listen like Christ. Listening is love language of maturity. We can't always say what we want to say. It's taking me some time to understand those things. It's necessary to bite your tongue. It's necessary to sometimes think about what's being said. We have to be active listeners. Then also it says, cover her spiritually. Your intercession is intimacy with God. For her, you have to cover her in prayer. Not cover her in rude language, rude talk, abuse. I've been there, understood some of those things. And, I had said one time about abuse. I didn't mean that I was hitting my wife or always throwing her or always hurling things at her. That's not the abuse again. I mean abuse, mean that I was not listening to her. I was not caring for her in the way that she needed to understand. And some of the things that I may have said did not aid in bringing self-esteem, things of that nature. Always been a man of God as far as to making sure that I'm going in the house, doing the right things, not running around, things of that nature. So we have to understand when we start talking about abuse and when we start talking about neglect and when we start talking about not being a good husband or a mate. Those are also forms of abuse and neglect that we also have to understand. And then we start saying, you got to speak to your queen and her. Speak to her in affirmation. Keeps love alive. Make Valentine's. We say Valentine's a lifestyle, right? That's something that is consistent, is better than intensifies. It should be intensity. It should be intentional. It should be something that we're doing on a daily basis. It should be, again, those things that we give. Young men, when we are dating women, it's not okay to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 online. Think about it. We all come from mothers. How would we have felt if our fathers or others abused them? If you don't want to stay with her, let her go. If you do not want to be with her, let her go. If she's not more than enough for you, let her go. But if you think that she's well worth fighting for, treat her like the queen she is. Kings don't get off on beating queens. They get off on helping queens become queens. That means talking to the things that are the inside. And I'm not saying we're not going to have some times when there are challenging, heated moments. But we have to know how to forgive. We have to know how to go back in and how to apologize. And this is the reason for love. This is the reason why we have to put love first. Love. You have to understand what love. And you have to find that thing on the inside. And many times, the reason why we don't love or why we can't show love or compassion, there's something dry on the inside of us. There's something that we have not tapped into it. And can I also tell you, sometimes love may mean therapy. You may have to go find someone to have a conversation with. This is outside of the Bible. This is outside of Scripture. I'm not saying forsake that. You need the word. You need strength. But there are times when we need cathartic conversations to help us to plot out, why is it that I can't show love? Why am I not intentional? Why can't I receive love? Why am I acting unlovable? We have to understand that. And there's some things that we call post-traumatic syndrome, right? There are some things that we've dealt with that we never got over. I'm trying to tell you, love is on the inside of you. You just got to tap that well. Love is on the inside of you. You've got to tap that well. And that well starts with forgiveness. You got to forgive the people who hurt you and stop holding the people who are with you hostage. Stop using your hurt as a weapon. You're cutting those who really love you, and you're cutting those who are trying to help you and be with you. And those who have already forgiven you, those who are already willing to walk with you through the fire. Many women are willing to walk with us through the fire. I'm not talking about the gold diggers as we've learned about. I'm not talking about the women that they just want material things. I'm talking about the women who stuck by you when you only had one piece of bread, when you only had one car, when you only had a piece of job. I'm talking about the women who put up with the foolishness. So I want to tell you today, we got to make sure that we continue to show love. And how can we do that? How can we become better lovers? How can we become better men of God? Start by writing a note. Start by making a sandwich for lunch. Start by doing laundry. Start by saying, hey, I'm going to pick you up from your job. Drop them off. Weather's conditions, whatever, picking them up. Start by doing some small things. It's not always about the big rings. Not that they may not come. Every woman is not turned on by those things. So I want to tell you, what you have to do is find out what is their love language. If they like flowers, buy the flowers, man. If they like sneakers, get the sneakers, man. If they like to go to a fine dining restaurant, you afford based on your level. Do not try to pretend. You have to drop to God. Women are tired of the fake. They want real men, which means we have to be honest. We have to be honest. Love is honesty. And can I tell you also, sometimes love is going to cause a little pain. And what does that mean? Because we are having to stretch into places that maybe we've never been. Sometimes people have never shown you love. And it's going to be difficult to disconnect from old behaviors. It can be difficult to disconnect from old behaviors. But also, if you have a son, if you have a mentee, and if you have men who look up to you, what are we showing them? What are we showing them in our relationships? We have to learn how to love women, but also learn how to love one another. Brothers, we also have to be okay with learning how to love one another. If we did it wrong, be able to say, I got it wrong. My apologies. Be able to step up as a man and apologize. Love also is willing to apologize. Yep. Even if you feel like you are right. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if there's tension in your house, or if you're carrying knots in your neck, if your back is hurting, if you got migraines, it doesn't matter. Pressure is released when we release love. And so I want to tell you today, there's some monetary things that you can do, which is buying cars, buying gifts, buying cars, buying houses. All those things are very nice. But the gems I want to tell you is how we treat one another, the words that we speak out of our mouth. I'm telling you, why? Because I've been through that and I'm working through those processes as well. If every man is really honest with you, they'll tell you sometimes we don't say the right things, but we have to know how to turn it around. Don't keep saying things that are killing your relationship. Say things that are going to bring life. As I tell my daughter all the time, you want a man that wants to respect you and love you and know how to pray for you. Going out drinking, going out getting high, that's nothing. Temporal. If you see a man doing that, if you see it doing, you want to watch that. He's throwing money out the window. Come on, men. We don't need to be throwing money out the window on frivolous things. And so what I want to tell you, invest in your relationship. Invest time. You don't always have to go abroad in order to show that you love your woman. Do something simple. A picnic in the park. Just holding their hand, going to the mall. Just saying you remember the color that they said that they love. Remembering that there was a favorite dress or something that they showed you when you all were just even online or walking. So being intentional and being present. We're all guilty of cell phones, computers, and everybody else. We have to make sure that we're intentional, taking some time to make sure that we relax, make sure that we're showing them that we love them, and that means also doing the right things, making sure, putting them first. That's how you sustain love. That's how you keep love. That's how you grow love. And that's how you stay in love. So again, I just want to encourage you. Use some of these nuggets. You may have your own. Write them down. Share them with someone else. Everyone's experience is not everyone's experience, but we should be able to take something from it to make our relationships better. She's well worth it. She's worth keeping. She's worth holding. She's worth loving. She is your favor. Make sure you show her that. Pull out the queen on the inside of her. She's waiting for you, king. Say it to her. You're my queen. You're my queen. You're my queen. All right, Encourage Nation. Men, that was for you. Take it in. And women, if you're listening, don't settle for less. If they don't come up, that's not your king. All right. Love you. Bye.